The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was massive. Its crystal walls stretched up so high that the ceiling disappeared into shadows. Hundreds of alien beings filled the curved seats, their strange bodies creating a rainbow of colors and shapes. Some had wings, others had tentacles, and a few looked like walking rocks covered in glowing moss. Ambassador Park Woo-jin stood alone at the center of it all. His black suit looked simple compared to the fancy robes and armor worn by the alien delegates. He was a tall man with graying hair and calm eyes. Even though he was surrounded by creatures that could destroy his entire planet, he showed no fear. Behind Park Woo-jin, 3 other humans sat in the small section reserved for Earth's delegation. Kim So-ra wore her military uniform with pride. The medals on her chest told stories of battles fought in distant stars. Her dark eyes watched every alien in the room, looking for signs of danger. She had been a soldier for 20 years and trusted no one except her own people. Dr. Yoon Ji-sung sat next to her, his hands folded on his lap. He looked tired. For the past 3 years, he had worked day and night to help these aliens solve their problems. He had created medicines for their sick and helped fix their broken machines. But every time he tried to help, they demanded more and gave nothing back. The 4th human was Lee Sang-ho, a young man who spoke many alien languages. He had spent his whole life learning about other species, hoping to build friendship between humans and aliens. Now he wondered if he had wasted his time. At the front of the hall sat the council speaker, a creature called Vextar. It looked like a giant snake with arms and wore a crown made of floating metal pieces. Its voice was cold and sharp when it spoke. "Humans of Earth," Vextar said, and its words echoed through the hall. "You have been part of our galaxy for 50 years. In that time, you have caused nothing but trouble." Park Woo-jin said nothing. He had heard these words many times before. "You build ships too fast," continued Vextar. "You explore systems that do not belong to you. You ask too many questions and refuse to follow our ancient laws. You are like children playing with fire." Around the hall, alien heads nodded in agreement. The Quellians, who looked like living diamonds, made musical sounds of approval. The Hive-Tarks, giant insects with 4 arms, clicked their sharp teeth. The Nebuloids, floating gas clouds in metal suits, hummed with electrical energy. "We have tried to be patient with you," Vextar said. "We have offered you guidance. We have shared our wisdom. But you refuse to learn." Kim So-ra felt her anger growing hot in her chest. These aliens talked about sharing wisdom, but they had never shared anything useful. Every time humans discovered something new, the aliens either stole it or demanded that humans give it away for free. Therefore, Vextar announced, "The Galactic Council has decided to give you one final chance to prove you can be good members of our community." The speaker raised one of its long arms. A holographic screen appeared in the air showing words in many languages. The human translation made Kim So-ra's blood run cold. "These are our final demands," Vextar said. "First, you must give us control of all human military ships. No human vessel may carry weapons stronger than what we allow." Park Woo-jin's face remained calm, but his hands tightened slightly behind his back. "Second, you must leave 12 of your colony worlds. These places are too close to our sacred systems. Your people there have 30 days to pack their belongings and go." Dr. Yoon Ji-sung closed his eyes. Those 12 colonies were home to over 50 million humans. Families had lived there for generations. Children had been born under alien suns and knew no other home. Third, all humans must undergo genetic testing and modification. Our scientists will make changes to your bodies so that you can better fit into galactic society. The hall was silent. Even the aliens seemed to understand how serious this demand was. "These terms are not up for discussion," Vextar said. "You have 7 days to accept. If you refuse, the Galactic Council will treat humanity as an enemy species. We will defend ourselves accordingly." Park Woo-jin stood quietly for a long moment. Around him, the aliens waited for his answer. Some looked eager, as if they hoped humans would refuse so they could attack Earth. Others seemed nervous, but none spoke up to defend humanity. Finally, Park Woo-jin stepped forward. His voice was clear and steady when he spoke. Speaker Vextar, honored members of the Galactic Council, I thank you for your time and consideration. The aliens leaned forward, expecting him to accept their demands or beg for mercy. However, Park Woo-jin continued, I must inform you that the United Human Federation cannot and will not accept these terms. A wave of shocked sounds filled the hall. Some aliens hissed, others roared, and a few made high-pitched noises that hurt human ears. Furthermore, Park Woo-jin said, raising his voice above the noise, humanity officially withdraws from all peace negotiations with the Galactic Council. We will return to our own space and defend ourselves as we see fit. Vexatar's snake-like body swayed with anger. You foolish creatures, do you not understand what you are doing? We offer you a chance to survive and you throw it away. We understand perfectly, Park Woo-jin replied. You offer us slavery disguised as peace. You want us to give up everything that makes us human so that you can feel safe and superior. You cannot fight the entire galaxy, roared a Hive-Tark delegate, its insect mouth dripping with acidic saliva. Park Woo-jin turned to look at the creature. We have no intention of fighting the galaxy. We simply choose not to be part of your council anymore. Kim So-ra stood up, her hand resting on her weapon. Dr. Yoon Ji-sung and Lee Sang-ho also rose from their seats. The four humans walked toward the exit, their footsteps echoing in the huge hall. You have made the worst mistake in your species' short history, Vextar called after them. When you come crawling back, begging for our protection, we will remember. This day, Park Woo-jin paused at the doorway. He turned back one last time to look at the assembled aliens. No, he said quietly. You will remember this day, but not for the reasons you think. The doors closed behind the human delegation with a soft whisper. The aliens sat in stunned silence for several seconds before exploding into angry discussion. Vextar smiled with satisfaction. The troublesome humans had finally shown their true nature. Now the galaxy could deal with them properly. In their ship, the four humans prepared to leave the station. As they flew away from the council chambers, Kim So-ra looked at her ambassador. Sir, are you sure about this? Park Woo-jin stared out at the stars. We tried peace their way for 3 years. Now we try it our way. And what is our way? Asked Dr. Yoon Ji-sung. Survival, Park Woo-jin answered, and perhaps something more. Admiral Lee Min-ho stood on the bridge of the UHF flagship Determination, reading the message that had just arrived from the council chambers. The words were simple, but carried the weight of history. Peace talks failed. Begin Operation Homecoming. Immediately. Lee Min-ho was a veteran of many space battles. His face was marked by scars from a pirate attack 10 years ago, and his gray beard was always perfectly trimmed. He had served humanity for 40 years, first as a fighter pilot, then as a captain, and now as the commander of Earth's most powerful fleet. Communications officer, he called out. Send the activation code to all human vessels, stations, and colonies. Operation Homecoming is now active. Around him, the bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency. These men and women had trained for this day, though they had hoped it would never come. Within minutes, coded messages flew through space at faster than light speeds, reaching every corner of human territory. On Kepler Station, a massive space city orbiting a dying star, Choi Hye-jin received the message while eating breakfast. She was the head of refugee services for the station, a job that usually involved helping a few hundred people per month. Now she had to evacuate 2.3 million humans in less than 2 days. Choi Hye-jin was known for staying calm under pressure. She had organized disaster relief after asteroid strikes and coordinated food supplies during famines. But this was different. This was the end of 50 years of human expansion into alien space. Attention all residents, her voice echoed through the station's communication system. This is Emergency Coordinator Choi Hye-jin. Please report to your assigned evacuation points immediately. Bring only essential belongings. Transport ships will arrive within 6 hours. The evacuation proceeded with remarkable smoothness. Humans had learned from their history of wars and disasters. Every family knew their evacuation route. Every building had emergency supplies. Every person understood their role in the plan. What surprised the watching aliens was how calm the humans remained. There was no panic, no angry protests, no desperate attempts to bargain for more time. Children held their parents' hands and walked quietly to the transport ships. Elderly people helped each other carry small bags of treasured belongings. Captain Nam Yu-jin commanded one of the evacuation ships. Her vessel, the New Hope, was designed to carry 1,000 passengers in comfort. Today it held 3,000. People sleeping in hallways and storage rooms, but nobody complained. "Captain," her first officer reported, "we have a full load, ready to depart on your command." Nam Yu-jin looked out at Kepler Station one last time. Humans had built this place, from nothing but metal and dreams. Now they were leaving it behind for aliens who would probably let it fall apart. "Take us home," she ordered. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out on dozens of worlds and hundreds of stations. The great human exodus had begun. On the research planet Harmony, Dr. Yoon Ji-sung supervised the destruction of his laboratory. For 3 years he had worked on a cure for the Hive-Tark plague, a disease that was killing millions of the insect-like aliens. He was only weeks away from success. His assistant, a young woman named Park Soo-jin, watched sadly as they deleted years of research data. "Doctor, shouldn't we leave the cure for them? People are dying." Dr. Yoon Ji-sung paused, his finger hovering over the final delete button. He thought about the Hive-Tark delegate who had threatened humanity just hours ago. He thought about the alien children who would die without his medicine. "The council made their choice," he said quietly. "They wanted us gone. They can solve their own problems now." He pressed the button. Terabytes of medical research vanished forever. Back in council. Space. Intelligence Officer Mordak was having a very strange day. Mordak belonged to a species called the Shadowkin, creatures that looked like living smoke with glowing eyes. His job was to watch human activities and report anything suspicious. Today, everything was suspicious. Human ships were moving everywhere, but not in patterns that suggested an attack. Instead, they seemed to be gathering things and people, then heading toward the edge of the galaxy where human space began. "This makes no sense," Mordak reported to his supervisor. "If they were preparing for war, they would be bringing weapons and soldiers to the border. Instead, they are taking everything away from the border." "Perhaps they are afraid," suggested his supervisor, a Quellian named Crystal Song of Wind. "Perhaps they realize they cannot fight us and are running home to hide." But Mordak was not convinced. He had studied humans for 20 years. They did not run from fights they thought they could win. And they always thought they could win. The most puzzling part was how organized the withdrawal seemed. Every human ship knew exactly where to go and what to do. No orders were given over open channels that aliens could hear. No panic or confusion slowed them down. "It is like they practiced this," Mordak muttered to himself. On the border between human and
alien space, Captain Kang Do-yun was saying goodbye to his friend.
his cargo ship, Aurora's Dream, had carried trade goods between human and alien worlds for 15 years. His best customer was a Quellian merchant named Bright Reflection on Ice. "I do not understand," the crystal being said, his voice making musical sounds. "Why must you leave? We have done good business together. We have been friends." Kang Do-yun was a simple man who loved to travel and meet new people. Leaving his alien friends was the hardest part of this whole situation. "My government has recalled all human civilians," he explained. "I have no choice. But surely you can stay if you want to. Surely your government will not force you." Kang Do-yun smiled sadly. "You don't understand humans very well, my friend. When our leaders say it's time to go, we go. We trust them to know things we don't." What things could they know that we do not? Kang Do-yun looked out at the stars, thinking about classified reports he had seen and military preparations he had noticed. "I hope you never find out," he said. "Take care of yourself, Bright Reflection. Things are going to change." As his ship jumped to faster-than-light speed for the last time, Kang Do-yun sent a final message on the emergency frequency. "This is Captain Kang Do-yun of Aurora's Dream. Last human civilian vessel leaving alien space. We are going home now. Thank you for 50 years of friendship. We hope we will meet again under better circumstances. The message was broadcast on all channels, in all languages. Across the galaxy, aliens heard it and felt a strange sadness they could not explain. 3 days later, the withdrawal was complete. Every human ship, station, and colony in alien space had been abandoned or evacuated. The border between human and alien territory was now completely empty of human presence. In the council chambers, Speaker Vexitar received the final report from Intelligence Officer Mordak. They are all gone, Mordak said. Every single human has returned to their core systems. The border is sealed. They are not answering any communications except basic navigation signals. Excellent, Vexitar replied. Now they can sit in their corner of space and think about their mistakes. When they are ready to accept our terms, they will come crawling back. But Mordak felt uneasy. Something about this whole situation felt wrong. Humans had left too easily, too quickly, too organized. Sir, he said carefully, what if they don't come back? Vexitar laughed, a sound like breaking glass. Where else can they go? We control trade routes, resources, technology. Without us, they will slowly starve and beg for mercy. Mordak hoped his superior was right, but deep in his heart, he suspected they had made a terrible mistake. The galaxy felt quieter now, though no one could say exactly why. 6 months had passed since the humans disappeared from galactic society. At first, most aliens barely noticed the difference. Trade continued, ships traveled their usual routes, and life went on as it always had. But slowly, strange things began to happen. Captain Calvex of the Nebuloid Trade Federation was the first to notice something wrong. His species lived in specially designed suits that contained their gas-based bodies, and he had been flying cargo routes for 60 years. He knew every trading post, every fuel station, and every shortcut in his sector. The Meridian route is taking twice as long now, he reported to his company. The navigation beacons that the humans maintained have stopped working. Ships have to take the long way around 3 different star systems. His supervisor, a floating cloud of green gas, named Stormwind Rising, was not sympathetic. So we take longer routes. The company will adjust prices. But sir, Calvex protested, the humans did not charge us for those beacons. They said it helped everyone travel safely. Now nobody maintains them, and ships are getting lost. Stormwind Rising made a dismissive sound. The humans were just trying to control our movements. We are better off without their interference. But Calvex was not convinced. Last week, a Quellian merchant ship had disappeared near the abandoned beacons. Search teams found only wreckage and a single message. Navigation error. Flew too close to stellar storm. Meanwhile, in the Outer Rim territories, pirates were having the time of their lives. For 50 years, human patrol ships had made piracy a dangerous business. Human captains were aggressive fighters who never gave up chasing criminals. Human technology could track ships through hyperspace and find hidden bases. Now the humans were gone, and the pirates ruled the shipping lanes. Captain Vossitar led the largest pirate fleet in the sector. He was a hive-tark, like a giant mantis, with 4 arms and acidic spit. His crew of mixed aliens had grown rich attacking merchant ships that no longer had human escorts. Attack the Quellian freighter, he ordered his ships. They carry rare crystals worth millions. The attack went perfectly. The Quellian ship had no weapons and no escorts. Vossitar's pirates captured the cargo without a fight and prepared to celebrate another easy victory. That was when the strange ships appeared. They came out of hyperspace without warning, 3 vessels unlike anything in the known databases. They were sleek and black with no visible weapons or engines. They moved in perfect formation and made no attempt to communicate. Unknown ships, Vostar broadcast. You are interfering with a legal salvage operation. Identify yourselves or be destroyed. The black ships said nothing. They simply opened fire. Vostar's fleet was destroyed in less than 5 minutes. The pirate captain's last transmission was a scream of confusion. What are these things? Where did they come from? The black ships rescued the Quellian crew, destroyed the pirate base on a nearby asteroid, and vanished as quickly as they had. appeared. The Quellian survivors could only say that their rescuers never showed themselves or spoke a word. Similar incidents began happening across the galaxy. Pirates would attack a merchant ship, mysterious vessels would appear, the pirates would disappear, and the merchants would be saved by anonymous rescuers. Intelligence analyst Shin Yu-na sat in a secret monitoring station hidden in the asteroid field of a dead system. She was one of several hundred humans who had stayed behind when the withdrawal happened. Her job was to watch and listen, gathering information about what happened in alien space after humanity left. She had been born on Earth but raised on various space stations. Her small size and quiet manner made her good at hiding and observing. For 6 months, she had watched the galaxy slowly fall apart without human involvement. Daily report to Fleet Command. She spoke into her encrypted transmitter. Pirate attacks have increased by 400% in sectors 7 through 12. 3 major trade routes have been abandoned due to navigation failures. The Hive-Tark plague is spreading faster without Dr. Yoon's research. She paused to review her notes. Most interesting development. Unknown ships are attacking pirates with advanced technology. No alien government claims ownership of these vessels. Pirates are beginning to avoid areas where the mysterious ships have been seen. What Shin Yu-na did not report was her growing worry about something else entirely. Her sensors had detected strange signals from the deep dark, the empty space beyond the galaxy's edge. The signals followed patterns that reminded her of classified reports she had read about ancient dangers. But those reports were above her security level, and she was not supposed to know about them. On the Council homeworld, Speaker Vextar was dealing with a crisis. Representatives from dozens of species had come to complain about problems in their territories. The trade routes are failing, announced Crystal Song of Wind, the Quellian delegate. Without human navigation systems, our ships take twice as long to reach their destinations. Some have been lost completely. Pirates are destroying our commerce, added Hivemind of 7, speaking for the Hive-Tarks. In the old days, human patrol ships kept the shipping lanes safe. Now criminals attack our vessels without fear. And our plague grows worse, Hivemind of 7 continued. The human doctor was close to finding a cure. Without his research, millions of our young will die. Vextar listened to the complaints with growing irritation. These are temporary problems, he declared. We will find solutions without depending on human help. How? Demanded Stormwind Rising. It has been 6 months and nothing improves. Everything grows worse. We survived for millions of years before humans arrived, Vextar said firmly. We will survive millions more after they are gone. But privately, the speaker was beginning to worry. Reports from across the galaxy told the same story. Systems that had worked smoothly for decades were now failing. Trade was slowing. Piracy was increasing. And several minor wars had started over resources that humans used to help distribute fairly. Intelligence Officer Mordak brought him the most disturbing news. Sir, I have been analyzing the pattern of human activities before they withdrew. They were not just exploring randomly or building colonies for profit. Explain, Vextar ordered. Mordak projected a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy. Red dots marked human settlements and bases. Look at the locations they chose. Every human outpost was positioned to watch specific areas of space. Every human patrol route covered approaches to major alien worlds. Every human research station was located near ancient ruins or dangerous phenomena. Vextar studied the map. What are you suggesting? I think humans were not expanding to control territory, Mordak said carefully. I think they were building a defensive network to protect the galaxy from something. Protect us from what? Mordak highlighted signals from the deep dark that several monitoring stations had detected. Something is moving out there, beyond the edge of known space. The signal started 3 months ago, just after the human withdrawal. They are getting stronger every day. Vextar felt a chill run through his serpentine body. Why did humans not tell us about this threat? Perhaps they tried, Mordak suggested. Remember how they always wanted to build more ships, explore more systems, research ancient technologies? We told them to stop being so aggressive and warlike. For the first time since the peace talks failed, Vextar wondered if the Council had made a mistake. But it was too late to change course now. The humans were gone, and whatever was coming from the deep dark would have to be faced without them. He just hoped they were strong enough to survive it. In her hidden monitoring station, Shin Yu-na detected another signal burst from beyond the galaxy. This one was different from the others. It was stronger, more organized, and definitely heading toward populated space. She encrypted the data and sent it to Fleet Command with a priority flag. Then she began packing her equipment. Something told her that her monitoring mission was about to become much more dangerous. The first Devourer ship appeared near the Outer Rim colony of Peaceful Harbor, a small Quellian settlement known for its beautiful crystal gardens. The inhabitants were artists and philosophers who had never seen war in their 1,000-year history. The Tiwi ship was enormous, bigger than the largest Council battleship. Its hull was black metal covered in strange symbols that hurt to look at. No living crew could be seen through its transparent sections. Instead, mechanical forms moved with precise, deadly purpose. Captain Harmony of Crystal Spheres commanded the settlement's only defense vessel, a small patrol ship designed more for rescue work than fighting. When his sensors detected the approaching Devourer, he sent a confused message to Council headquarters. Unknown vessel approaching Peaceful Harbor. Design does not match any species in our database. Ship appears to be entirely mechanical, requesting identification and purpose. The Devourer's response was simple and terrifying. A beam of energy reached out from the black ship and touched Harmony of Crystal Sphere's vessel. The patrol ship and its crew vanished instantly, converted into raw energy that the Devourer absorbed. Then the real horror began. The Devourer landed on Peaceful Harbor and began its work. Mechanical creatures poured from its belly, each one designed for a specific task. Some disassembled buildings with precise laser tools. Others captured the Quellian inhabitants and fed them into processing machines. Still others dug deep into the planet's crust, extracting minerals and metals. Within 6 hours, Peaceful Harbor was gone. The crystal gardens, the art galleries, the homes where families had lived for generations, all of it was converted into raw materials and loaded into the Devourer's cargo holds. The million Quellian inhabitants became energy to power the ship's engines. Where a thriving colony had stood, only bare rock remained. The Devourer ship lifted off and headed toward the next population center, leaving behind a dead world that would never recover. General Nam Soo-jin watched the destruction from humanity's hidden command center deep beneath Earth's moon. She was a small woman with steel-gray hair and eyes that had seen too many battles. For 3 years she had prepared for this day while the Galaxy Council complained about human military buildup. Analysis confirms Devourer technology, reported. Her intelligence officer, Commander Oh Yun-bi. Energy conversion weapons, self-replicating factories, complete resource consumption. Exactly what the ancient ruins predicted. Nam Soo-jin studied the tactical display that showed the entire galaxy. Red symbols marked Devourer contacts, and there were more appearing every hour. How many ships total? At least 50 confirmed, probably more coming through the deep dark gates, Oh Yun-bi replied. They are following the exact invasion pattern, described in the Titan archives. The Titan archives were humanity's most closely guarded secret. 50 years ago, human explorers had found the ruins of an ancient civilization on the edge of the galaxy. The ruins contained warnings about mechanical invaders that appeared every few million years to harvest all life in the galaxy. Most alien species had dismissed the archives as myths or propaganda when humans tried to share the information. The Council had accused humans of making up threats to justify their military expansion. Now the myths were very real and very hungry. Send activation codes to all deep space assets, Nam Soo-jin ordered. Begin Phase 1 of Operation Guardian. Across the galaxy, hidden human installations came online. Monitoring stations disguised as asteroids began transmitting target data. Weapon platforms hidden in gas giant atmospheres powered up their systems. Automated shipyards that had been secretly building for 3 years started producing vessels at maximum speed. The network that aliens had seen as human aggression revealed its true purpose, defending the galaxy from an enemy older than any living species. On the Council homeworld, panic was spreading like wildfire. Reports of devourer attacks were coming in from across the outer rim. Entire star systems were going silent within hours of first contact. Speaker Vextar had called an emergency session, but the council chamber was in chaos. Representatives screamed at each other in dozens of languages while their homeworlds burned. The Hive-Tark colonies of 7 stars and Brightwing are gone, announced Hivemind of 7, his insect voice clicking with terror. 2 billion of our people fed to those machines. 3 nebuloid trade hubs have been harvested, added Stormwind Rising, her gaseous form flickering with distress. Our entire merchant fleet in those sectors has vanished. My people's art world of singing crystals lasted only 4 hours. Crystal Song of Wind reported, her musical voice cracking with grief. Centuries of culture, destroyed for raw materials. Vextar tried to maintain order, but his own fear was growing. Our combined fleets will stop these invaders. We have thousands of ships, millions of soldiers. Intelligence Officer Mordak had spent the last 3 days analyzing devourer capabilities. His report was not encouraging. Sir, our weapons have no effect on their hulls. Their energy shields absorb everything we fire at them. Meanwhile, their conversion beams destroy our largest battleships in seconds. Then what do you suggest? Vextar demanded. Mordak hesitated before answering. Perhaps it is time to contact the humans. The chamber fell silent. For months, the council had refused all communication with humanity. They had ignored human messages and blocked human ships from entering their territory. Pride had kept them from admitting they might need help. Never, declared Hivemind of 7. We will not crawl to those arrogant mammals for assistance. They abandoned us when we needed them, added Stormwind Rising. They showed their true nature by running away. But Crystal's Song of Wind remembered her friendship with the human trader, Kang Do-yun. She remembered how sad he had looked when saying goodbye. What if they did not run away? She asked quietly. What if they went to prepare for this invasion? The other delegates turned to stare at her. Explain, Vextar ordered. The human settlements, their patrol routes, their research, projects. Intelligence Officer Mordak said they formed a defensive network. What if humans knew these devourers were coming? Mordak nodded slowly. It would explain many things. Why they explored so aggressively. Why they built so many ships. Why they always seemed to be preparing for war. If humans knew about this threat, Crystal Song of Wind continued, then our peace talks must have seemed like madness to them. We demanded they give up their weapons just as their ancient enemy was about to return. The terrible possibility settled over the council like a cold fog. They had forced away the only species that understood the threat they all faced. Before anyone could respond, alarms began ringing throughout the chamber. A aide rushed to Speaker Vextar with an urgent message. Sir, devourer ships have been detected in the core systems. They are only 2 jumps away from our homeworld. Panic erupted again, but this time it was different. This time, the fear was personal and immediate. Send a message to the humans, Vextar ordered, his pride finally breaking. Tell them we request immediate assistance. Tell them we will accept any terms they demand. But even as the message was sent, everyone wondered if it was already too late. In her hidden monitoring station, intelligence analyst Shin Yuna had been tracking the devourer advance for hours. She was no longer alone. 3 days ago, a human strike team had arrived to reinforce her position and prepare for combat. Operations. Message received from the Galactic Council, reported her communications officer, Lieutenant Park Min-ho. They are requesting immediate assistance and offering to negotiate terms. Shin Yuna thought about the Quellian families being fed into devourer processing machines. She thought about the Hive-Tark children dying from the plague that Dr. Yoon, Ji-sung, could have cured. She thought about all the suffering that could have been prevented if the council had listened to human warnings. Send the standard response, she said. Humanity is currently unavailable for diplomatic contact. But they are dying out there, Park Min-ho protested. Yes, Shin Yuna agreed. And they will keep dying until they learn to ask for help properly. Riaone opened a secure channel to Fleet Command. This is Monitor Station 7. Devourer fleet approaching Council space on schedule. Request permission to begin Phase 2 operations. The response came immediately. Permission granted. Show them what humans can do. Shin Yuna smiled grimly as she began targeting the lead Devourer ship. The galaxy was about to learn why humanity had really been building so many weapons. The human fleet that emerged from hyperspace above the dying Quellian homeworld was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Admiral Bei Jin-woo stood on the bridge of his flagship, Human Spirit, and watched through the view screen as Devourer ships tore apart the planet's surface. Bei Jin-woo was a quiet man with gentle eyes, but he had spent 3 years preparing for this moment. Behind him stretched a fleet of over 2,000 vessels, each one built with technologies that the Council had never seen. These were not the exploration ships and cargo haulers that aliens remembered. These were weapons of war, designed for one purpose: stopping the Devourers. Enemy count, he asked his tactical officer. 67 Devourer ships in this system, sir, reported Lieutenant Commander Yu Sung-min. They have consumed approximately 40% of the planet's mass. Estimated survivors, less than 50 million. Bai Jin-woo closed his eyes for a moment, thinking of the 3 billion Quellians who had lived on that world just days ago. Begin the attack. All ships, fire at will. The human fleet opened fire with weapons that made the Devourers stop their harvesting and take notice. Plasma cannons that could crack a moon's crust. Gravity bombs that twisted space itself into knots. Energy shields that could absorb a star's worth of power. But the most devastating weapons were the conversion disruptors, devices that human scientists had developed specifically to fight Devourer technology. When these weapons hit a Devourer ship, the machine's ability to convert matter into energy was reversed. Instead of growing stronger by consuming materials, the Devourer began consuming itself. The first Devourer ship to be hit by a conversion disruptor lasted exactly 37 seconds before it collapsed into a ball of twisted metal and disappeared. Target the harvesting ships first, Bei Jin-woo ordered. Save as many civilians as possible. Lieutenant Commander Oh Eun-bi coordinated the rescue operations from her command ship, Salvation. She was young for such an important job, but she had trained her entire life for this kind of operation. Her ships swooped down to the planet's surface, scooping up survivors while human fighters dueled with Devourer interceptors in the burning sky. Medical ships report they are at full capacity, her communications officer announced. Over 2 million refugees recovered so far. Tell them to keep loading, Oh Eun-bi replied. Use cargo holds, maintenance bays, anywhere with life support. We're not leaving anyone behind. The battle for the Quellian homeworld lasted 18 hours. When it was over, every Devourer ship had been destroyed or driven away. The planet was saved, though scarred beyond recognition. Most importantly, nearly 50 million Quellians had been rescued from certain death. As human medical ships began treating the survivors, Admiral Bei Jin-woo received an urgent message from Fleet Command. Sir, priority transmission from the Galactic Council. Speaker Vextar requests immediate audience. Bai Jin-woo had been expecting this. Put him through. The holographic image of the council speaker appeared on the bridge. Vextar looked older than before, his serpentine body marked by stress and fear. Admiral Bei Jin-woo, Vextar began. I speak for the Galactic Council in offering our complete surrender to humanity. We accept any terms you choose to impose. Please, help us stop these machines. Bei Jin-woo studied the alien leader for a long moment. Where is Ambassador Park Woo-jin? Your ambassador? I do not understand the relevance. Where is he? Bei Jin-woo repeated firmly. Vextar hesitated. He is aboard his ship near the Sol system. We have been trying to contact him for days, but he refuses our communications. Then you will speak to him first, Bei Jin-woo said. Humanity does not negotiate with people who have not apologized for their mistakes. The transmission ended, leaving Vextar staring at empty space. 3 days later, the council delegation arrived at the Sol system in a single, unarmed ship. Speaker Vextar, Intelligence Officer Mordak, and representatives from the major species waited nervously in the cargo hold of Ambassador Park Woo-jin's vessel. Park Woo-jin entered the room looking exactly as he had during the failed peace talks 6 months ago. His black suit was perfectly pressed, his gray hair neatly combed, his expression calm and professional. "Speaker Vextar," he said with a slight bow. "I understand you wish to speak with me." Vextar, who had ruled the galaxy for decades, found himself struggling for words. "Ambassador Park, that is, the Council realizes we may have made errors in our previous negotiations." "Errors?" Park Woo-jin repeated quietly. "We underestimated the Devourer threat," Crystal Song of Wind admitted. "We did not understand that humanity was trying to protect us. We thought you were being aggressive," added Hivemind of Seven. "We did not know you were being defensive." Park Woo-jin listened to their explanations without expression. When they finished, he spoke carefully. "For 3 years we tried to warn you about the Devourer threat. We shared our archaeological findings. We showed you the ancient ruins. We explained why we needed to build defensive networks in the Outer Rim." "We know," Vextar said miserably. "We should have listened. Instead, you demanded that we disarm ourselves just as our ancient enemy was returning. You wanted us to abandon the colonies that protected your trade routes. You insisted we modify our genetics to make us more compliant." The Council representatives could not meet his eyes. 53 billion beings have died in the past week, Park Woo-jin continued. Entire species have been wiped out. Worlds that took millions of years to develop have been stripped bare. "We are sorry," Crystal Song of Wind said softly. "We are truly sorry." Park Woo-jin nodded. "I believe you are. The question is, what are you willing to do to make things right?" Over the next 6 hours, they negotiated the terms of humanity's return to galactic society. The agreement was simple but comprehensive. Humanity would have complete autonomy over their own space and military forces. No alien government could interfere with human colonies or ships. The Council would pay reparations for the colonies that humans had been forced to abandon. Most importantly, humanity would never again be subject to Council authority. In exchange, humans would help defend the galaxy against the Devourer threat and assist in rebuilding the devastated worlds. "These terms are acceptable," Vextar said, when the negotiations were complete. "Good," Park Woo-jin replied. "But there is one more thing." He gestured and Dr. Yoon Ji-sung entered the room. The scientist looked tired but determined. "Dr. Yoon has been working on treatments for the various medical crises facing your species," Park Woo-jin explained. "The Hive-Tark plague, nebuloid, gas poisoning, Quellian crystal rot. He has solutions for all of them." Hivemind of Seven made an excited clicking sound. "The cure for our plague? You still have it?" "We have something better," Dr. Yoon Ji-sung said. 3 years of additional research. Not only can we cure the plague, we can prevent it from ever returning." "Why?" asked Stormwind Rising. "After what we did to you, why would you help us?" Dr. Yoon Ji-sung smiled sadly. "Because sick children are still sick children, no matter what species they are." The final battle against the Devourers took place in the deep dark, beyond the galaxy's edge. Fleet Commander Park Jun-seo led a combined force of human and alien ships through the dimensional gates where the mechanical invaders had been spawning. Devourer's home dimension was a nightmare of twisted metal and consuming hunger. Ancient machines the size of planets had been building invasion fleets for millions of years, but they had never faced an enemy that understood their technology and could turn it against them. Human conversion disruptors destroyed the Devourer factories. Human ships rescued the energy patterns of countless species that had been absorbed over the eons. Human scientists found a way to collapse the dimensional gates permanently, ensuring that the Devourers could never threaten the galaxy again. When the human fleet returned to normal space, they were greeted as heroes by every species in the galaxy. Dr. Song Mi-young, who had coordinated the relief efforts, found herself overwhelmed by grateful aliens who wanted to thank humanity for saving their worlds. She was a gentlewoman who had become a doctor to help people, and seeing former enemies working together to rebuild their shattered homes was the most beautiful thing she had ever witnessed. Commander Song, Crystal Song of Wind, approached her with a gift. "My people have created this for you. It was a crystal sculpture showing human and alien ships flying together among the stars. Light danced through it in patterns too beautiful for words. "We call it the New Alliance," the Quellian explained. "It will hang in our council chambers to remind us of what happens when good people work together." As Dr. Song Mi-young accepted the gift, she thought about how different things could have been. The council had forced humanity to abandon peace talks, thinking they were punishing human aggression. Instead, they had pushed away the only species that could save them all. But in the end, perhaps it had worked out for the best. The galaxy had learned a valuable lesson about judging others too quickly, and humanity had proven that they could be trusted with power because they used it to protect the innocent rather than dominate the weak. The peace talks had failed, but peace itself had finally begun. Standing together in the council chambers, human and alien representatives looked out at the stars and began planning a future where no species would face